All right, y'all. We got the terrific trio back. Welcome to another episode of All About Comics. Corban, Josh, Adonnis. We're here, ready to have some fun conversations, talk some good stuff. Let's get into it. We here. Welcome, gentlemen. Thanks for hopping on. Adonnis, thanks for the backgrounds. How we doing, y'all?
I'm fine.
Love that. Love that. Perfect. That's just what I wanted to hear.
There you go.
Josh, you?
I'm tired, but good.
Okay, good. See, this is why I'm so glad I brought a little icebreaker question to get us into it. So, the question for today: if you could be a superhero, taking their strengths and their weaknesses right now, who would you be? Josh, you want to go right now? Adonis, who wants to take that first?
Like, yeah. My answer is always the same anytime this question comes up.
Figured.
And it's not sexy. It's like super practical. At first I kind of like the idea of like dominoes, like like subconscious luck manipulation would be kind of cool, but it also has to be like within your field of vision and all that sort of stuff. So I default to my default answer in this, which is Cypher. Like being able to intuitively understand and communicate in any language, including like computer languages and stuff like that. That would just be such a huge bonus for like just regular living. And I already have his same weakness, bullets. Like I already have that weakness, so it's not like I'm taking on anything additionally terrible. So I gotta go with Cypher and the ability to be like a human babblefish.
I already have his weakness, so we're good.
Oh no, my weakness, knives.
Oh, you shot me. How did you know? Oh man, that's
Adonis.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious. Who would you be?
I think I usually gravitate towards Magneto in the sense of like, because all the things he had to deal with. I mean, like the whole point of X-Men, the creation of X-Men and everything like that. People are different and they have to go through it, and they're just asking for the regular folks to accept them. And they're like, no mutants here. I mean, that seems pretty familiar, huh? We don't like the mutant kind here.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
But it's like Magneto is set up there mad powerful, and he could do some monumentally like destructive things. Yet he's sitting up there and be like, I just want you to leave me alone. If you don't, you will suffer the consequences. But I just want to be left alone. Don't bother me. And that's, I guess, I understand that. I wholeheartedly understand that. And if that situation were to occur and our universe was universe 616, and we got all this stuff, it's like, damn, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I was going to be basic and just go with who I always go with in moments like this, which is Batman. But I'm gonna take a different angle. I thought about this today, and I was like, you know what? I would be Zach from the 1993 Power Rangers series. He's a superhero. He has a killer flat top. I love the costume, and he can do one thing that I can't do, and that's dance. That move he does. I love that move. Yes, hip hop keto. Hip hop keto.
Like that. Yeah.
I know. Trust me. I know. I would love to be. I don't even know what he got. Soul. He can move. He can fight.
Also,
give it to me.
The black outfit was easily the best. The black outfit was easily the best.
Yes.
It's
good.
Sorry.
No, go on, Adonis.
It looked so cool. Like I'm reminiscing right now on those episodes and the part of the intro and stuff like that. And every time you see the Black Ranger, you sit up there.
Yes.
Damn near a Michael Jackson video. At the same time, like that fight is real.
Yes. Real. Like he made the fighting look cool. He obviously had his own personality. distinct enough. Yeah, that's who I would be. As far as weaknesses, I mean, he wasn't rich from what I could tell, but whatever. I would just say that's the only weakness, because when I think Batman, I'm like, yeah, he could fight and stuff, but I'd be rich. But
his weakness was he was broke.
Batman's weakness is he's
Yeah.
got lots of need for therapy.
That is true. That
Yeah.
don't we all, though?
To put it
No, I'm
lightly.
playing.
I mean,
That's fair.
I mean,
Batman probably should be in Arkham with the people he puts in there.
That is true.
so
That is
many
true.
freaking discussions that talk about that. Like, look, I mean, I think they're giving him like free admission because they're like, yeah, you helping us out, but just remember, you next, fam.
Yep, you said it.
Each time you drop someone off, just have a quick chat.
Yeah, how
with
we doing?
The therapist.
Just
Quick
check
chat on the way out.
How we doing?
Use your circle. Yep. All right. Well, let's get into our topics, y'all. We got some news. At this point, it's not ancient news, but it is still recent news. D23 was this past weekend. Guess you could say, as this airs or drops today or tomorrow, the day before. And we had X-Men. Finally, we got an X-Men cast announcement. We have Josh in his Xavier shirt. I love it. We got our full, I guess not full, but most of our cast and crew for this X-Men movie that'll be coming out in May of 2028. So there's going to be in addition to Sadie Sink, who, spoiler alert, we saw and was introduced to in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I know, I'm sorry. It's been 2 weeks, y'all. Aside from that, Kit Connors is Scott Summers. We have Christopher Abbott as Professor Charles Xavier, Samara Weaving as Emma Frost, just recent movie star Indy Navarrete as Rogue, and Maya Boyd of Broadway fame as Storm. And then lastly, Adam Driver will be playing a certain Nathaniel Milbury, very sinister character indeed. So, I mean, that is our group. I want to get your thoughts. I'm not a big actor, actress, casting, matching person. That's just not what I do well. So I knew like Indy Navarrete had been talked about a lot as Rogue. And Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. I'm familiar with Samara Weaving from other movies, and I was like, oh, she's perfect for that.
Yeah.
But I want to get your thoughts on other people, because Sadie Sink I was not impressed with until I saw Brand New Day, and then I was like, oh yeah, she got that. But everyone else is kind of like, for me. So I wanted to get your thoughts on the casting, and first off, both the actors and actresses, but also the current X-Men roster and the villain is intriguing for a first X-Men movie from Marvel.
I got a thought. I'm sorry for just
no, just go on. Yeah, please.
I'm continuously reminded that Jean Grey was basically the same thing in Stranger Things. So I'm like, that's what I'm seeing. So I guess I'm looking for something being this character being presented differently, even though it's very similar. So I want to see if she can actually act to showcase Jean's version of that type of character. Like, can she portray her properly? Like, I've read a few issues where where discussions with Jean and things like that happened back in the 90s and of recent years, but my main understanding and interaction with Jean Grey is from the 90s cartoon. That's what I knew.
Sorry.
I'm just
Oh, Scott and falling over. That's the 90s Jean Grey experience.
The most powerful person in that entire show, and yet constantly like,
exactly.
Gee, I wonder if there were a lot of male writers on that show.
I don't know. They're writing in the room like, what should we do with her? Have her fall over? I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, you saw what they did with Rogue, so.
Well, it's counterbalances, guys. She's the most powerful mental mutant in existence, so we got to give her weak ankles or something.
My Scott! Low. Exactly. But yeah, I'm with you on that. It'll be interesting to see. I thought that Sadie did a tremendous job playing this version of Jean Grey. I felt a more modern version of her compared to other iterations, and also there was just a hint for me of that darkness and that aggression and that rage that is calling out for the Phoenix Force. That's going to be perfect
with X-Men. Like, this could definitely, we could be looking at that dang arc that we would watch on friggin' Fox Kids and be like, ooh, Ooh,
Yep.
we could be walking into that yet again.
You said it.
Let's see.
Josh, you have any thoughts on him?
Oh yeah. Like obviously I'm an X-Men guy. A couple of interesting things like I've seen Christopher Abbott in a few things. Like he was in the most recent Wolfman movie. He was also in Possessor, which is like a really creepy body horror thing that he was like really good in, but very disturbing movie. And like he's been good in what I've seen, but I wouldn't like initially think of him as Professor Xavier. But I mean, we've seen so many castings in the past that people were like Heath Ledger, like Michael Keaton, like no, and then like they're the goats. So like I'm with it. I think Adam Driver should be really fun as Nathaniel Milbury.
Adam Driver is a really good character.
Yes, I think I hope that they play him kind of like Mr. Sinister was in the Krakoa era, like fully embracing the like kind of camp sass, like like the vibe of somebody who is as old as Sinister is and is at the point where like I have no fucks to give, like like step to me, bitch. I think Adam Driver could have a blast doing that. And like you said, Samara Weaving is awesome. She's a perfect cast for Emma. I thought it was interesting that basically of the main X-Men group that have been cast so far, the oldest is Indy, and she's 25. So like that to me says a few things. Like one, this is partially a financial strategy by Marvel because they know this is their cash cow. This is their massive cash cow because they have to share Spider-Man somewhat. They don't have to share X-Men now. And
roll that out, baby. Roll it out.
So let's lock in these relatively unknown actors at inexpensive contracts for like 10 years. And then we'll be rolling in the dough before they're superstars. And on top of it, we get them young so we can have hopefully as many. We can make this mutant saga as long as we want.
This is farming.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to have to be forced to like make him play it until he's 90 type thing. So I thought that was interesting. It also suggests that it will be leaning into the school side of things a little bit, and not just them as this quasi mutant militaristic like group that is just existing. And we've heard that Beast was almost cast, so we know Beast is going to be in it as well. And beyond that, everything else is kind of a rumor. But one thing I found really interesting too is it's not just Jean. There's Storm and there's Rogue as well. And one of the things that I hate about comic books in general is there's a lot of tokenness. And like Fantastic Four, guy, woman. Like in a lot of these setups where there's 4 or 5 characters, there's always just one woman. And like I would argue 3 of the 5 most important X-Men characters of all time are women. And they're the 3 that we just got introduced. Jean Grey, Storm, and Rogue. And like having them, even if they bring Beast, Iceman, and Angel in, like it's a 3 to 4 split as opposed to like the typical like Jean and her boys thing, which like
who's gonna fight over the girl?
Yes, and then they're all like
60-year-old
fighting
Hugh
for
Jackman.
attention. Even Charles Xavier's a pervy creep. If you go back and read those stories
In the comics, he has not
yeah,
done
yeah.
well. Yep. There's a
And then
joke
I
that
also
he's the true villain of the X-Men in the
yes.
comics, which is
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah. If when you get into it, yes. And the fact that Emma is there too would either suggest that like Hellfire Club are going to be the secondary antagonists, or she's either a teacher at the school, or she's a teacher at a rival school, like in the comics, where all of her students were killed by, anti-mutant forces, and that can play into the X-Men coming in, and her kind of coming into the fold with the X-Men is them coming to help stop what's happening to her students and whatnot. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I liked Thunderbolts. I think the director should do a really good job, and also like X-Men. As I'm thinking this, it's hitting me about like Batman versus Superman. X-Men is a fucking like T-ball hit. It should be incredibly hard to screw this up. That said, they've done it already. And then as I was saying it, like Batman versus Superman should have been like easy, super easy. Just like Blade should be super easy to make. But a lot of strikeouts. But yeah,
we'll get there for sure.
I think X-Men's gonna be Marvel's golden goose going forward, because
I do see that.
Yeah,
I do very much so see that, and I think that as you've been discussing like your thoughts, your what you're seeing, how you're analyzing the data that's being forced upon us now, it's bringing me it's opening this thought that like maybe like I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, even though it's like, hey, yo, fam, this is like strike 7 right now, fam. Like we could have had a few home runs, but y'all doing it. And I'm like, okay, will this be worth it? All that missing, is this going to be worth it? I'm looking at what I'm seeing. I'm seeing who they cast. I'm listening. I'm getting hints at that where the stories could go and what could be done and stuff like that. Like how mutants can be reintroduced to the MCU and what that means for the fans from long ago and the new, and like what that means towards like our everyday, like how everyday is. How is this going to factor? How is this going to give people hope on how to properly utilize these characters and stories for their purpose, to give people hope, to show them what a hero is, why doing good is good, not just for you, but for everybody. And it's like, okay, I hope that y'all doing this, because there are a lot of stories that can do that for you pretty easily. So since you're saying no on this better do it.
There you go. Indeed. It's gonna be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to it. I have no thoughts again on the casting, except I'm with Josh in the theory of having Samara Weaving be more like a teacher. I mean, she is the oldest of the cast. I think she's closer to Adam Driver.
She's still really young, but yeah.
And yes, but like if you have a Cyclops that's 22, you're not going to have a love triangle with a 35-year-old, or you shouldn't. And I know Marvel's not going to do that.
I mean,
in the comics,
I don't think Marvel's going to go directly into Grant Morrison land.
Off the top.
Grant Morrison, I've liked a lot of their stuff, but like, I don't think that's your appetizer. I don't think that's how you start the meal.
We're not going full the Joss Whedon with the Astonishing X-Men.
I one more thing I wanted to say is I saw Obsession, and Indy Navarrete is so damn good Like there's been a lot of backlash against her as Rogue,
Yeah.
because everyone kind of expected her to maybe be Mystique. And I like Kaylee Spaney, who is also like rumored to be Rogue, and she
Mhm.
was great in Alien Romulus and stuff. But like Indy Navarette is so good in Obsession. Like I think they just locked in like somebody who's going to see their star rise very quickly.
Really?
Exactly. And I was
I
Oh
gonna say,
yeah,
I'm
watch
not
Obsession,
going
man.
to.
If you haven't
well,
seen
before
Obsession, you should
I
check it out.
haven't. I've been
and
like putting it
It's
off.
good.
it's really good, dude. You have to, if you need, anyway, we'll talk about it after. You need to watch Obsession.
No, talk about it now.
I was gonna say, if
We're
I
here
was just
now,
gonna say,
Corbin.
if
Be in
I
the
was,
moment.
Right
you're
here,
right. I was
right
just gonna
now.
say that if Adonis needed the hookup to watch it, I had it. That's all
Yeah.
I was gonna say. But I was also gonna say, as a refute to those who, because I also didn't see her as Rogue, but I remember before I watched her in Obsession, she was, to me, she played a standout role in Superman and Lois.
Yep.
She was in that series for most of that run as Lana Lang's daughter. And she did a really good job of balancing being an outcast and
Oh.
having those issues with being a charming. Like she played that tremendously. And so at first, I was like, when everyone's like, "Oh, she's amazing. Have you seen her Obsession?" I was like, "I watched her for 3 years before that. Yeah, I know who she is." But
Damn.
seeing her in that, I was like, "Okay, I totally see the Rogue." Because she was kind of an outcast and she did, the whole gothic look and the dressing in dark colors. Like she was that, especially juxtaposed against a family that was on the surface in the show. Lana Lang is bubbly and cheery and all that, and her husband, everything, and she's kind of like not the ugly
The
duckling,
black
but
sheep.
like the black sheep, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think she can cast that very well. She has experience. In fact, seeing her in Obsession being more popular and being more, I was like, that's actually not the actress I'm used to. So I think she'll tap into that perfectly as Rogue. It'll be really cool to see. But let's talk about other movie TV shows that are coming out. We got more. The D23 showed another trailer for Doomsday. They put out the first trailer about a month ago, and Vision Quest, the final part in the WandaVision trilogy, will also be coming out this fall. And so I kind of want to get your reactions to the thoughts of the properties themselves. I mean, the projects, each of them are pretty. Doomsday is a lot more compelling, polarizing than I think Vision Quest is. Where Vision Quest is a little more niche. If you've been following the WandaVision trilogy, this is just the natural third extension of that. And they do have a return of a fan favorite in terms of James Spader's Ultron. Doomsday itself is, who knows? It's polarizing in the fact that it is a beast unto itself that Marvel is pitching a lot of their next phase of storytelling into, for something that literally feels like it was cooked up out of nowhere, because it was cooked up out of nowhere. So I want to get Josh, we can start with you this time and then go to you, Don. It's like, which one of you want to tackle, or both? But what are your thoughts on these two? One a little bit bigger than the other, but these next two upcoming projects for Marvel that will sort of go to form, the way we look at both this year, 2027, and the next year of Marvel storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked Vision as a character in the comics and everything. And I appreciate Yeah, I mean, I was a fan of Vision in the comics, and I was mentioning this before we started recording. Like, I think Ultron and Avengers: Age of Ultron is underrated. Like, it's actually a really
Yeah.
good villain and a really good movie, in my opinion. But it doesn't quite have the same, I guess, impact as like Civil War did, and then like Infinity War, Endgame, etc. But like James Spader just ate the scenery as Ultron, and I think really brought Ultron to life. Like in the comic books, I don't really hear Ultron's voice, maybe because he's like not human, and I don't really know what like that might sound like. But the second I heard James Spader's voice coming from Ultron, I was like, yep, there it is.
Yeah.
So having Ultron and James Spader back is really going to be fun, I think. And I like that Tommy is in this. They already had Billy and Agatha all along. So this suggests like the Young Avengers is still probably in the works.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I'm looking forward to that sometime happening before they're no longer the Young Avengers. But yeah, like also I appreciate when studios that are as big as Marvel kind of do dally in these like more niche stories, and it's not just like world-ending threat, world-ending threat, world-ending threat, but like here's a really interesting story set in this world. So like,
yeah, those are always fun, man.
Yeah, definitely on that. Adonis, you got any thoughts on this stuff out here?
I am excited for Vision Quest. I'm all the way with you, Josh, on your perspective. Like that seems very interesting. Doomsday, I don't know. I'm gonna see it because I'm gonna see it, but like I honestly don't have any real push or tug towards it. It's more so it's just like I'm gonna consume this information so I can stay relevant. I'm excited for other stories that are coming that are going to be told. I saw what you said in the text, but it didn't friggin' register in my mind until I went and I opened up IMDb and was like checking on things during our conversation, and then all of a sudden I just clicked to home and I saw that it launches Lanterns launches today. So like there's a lot of things that I'm like more so concerned about than Doomsday right now. So it's like I'll watch it, but these other things I'm eager to see. I'm eager to see these stories.
I'm with you, Adonis. Like when it comes to Doomsday, I'm not overly excited. The only things I really want to see is James Marsden getting some actually good Cyclops moments, and I want to see Shang-Chi again. Like Shang-Chi was easily the most popular new character that they dropped in quite a while, and then like we literally haven't even heard about him in the 5 years since. In all of the shows, the movies, like nothing about Shang-Chi.
It is like, it is so ridiculous.
Yes. Let's take the first prominent Asian superhero that had a very big like impact, and then like let's not talk about him and let's
sideline him. Sidelining it sounds great to me.
This won't come up later in our chat at all either.
No.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to those aspects, and I also think the thing with Thor and Doom is such an obvious Worf effect trope.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, you take the strongest possible Avenger there, and then Doom just humbles his ass, and that sets up like, oh, well, clearly Doom's a badass. And I get it, but it still annoys me because it's like seeing the strings on the puppet. Like I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And when you do it that way, it makes me a little like, eh.
Yeah, and that's what like upsets me about these friggin' stories that are involved, but they have their own friggin' like chaotic adventure. And you give us like you sit up there and like take three bites on that damn Tootsie Pop and it's gone. Like you could have take your time. Take your time.
Yep.
Like Blade could have been one of these friggin' cool ass stories.
We are, yep. Oh, it's about to get, yes.
Yo, like Shang-Chi was definitely, he was like, all right, fam, your turn. And they were like, yeah, we know. We about to jump on that junk real quick. Let's go. Actually, hold up. Wait, hold on. Okay. Actually, we're going to focus on X-Men. And it's like, again, it's like, okay, there's a lot of stories out there that people are like, yo, I'm excited to know, learn what's next. and y'all saying about that.
Yeah. And I think that kind of leads. I didn't have a whole lot more to say other than Doomsday and Vision Quest. Excited for both. More excited for Doomsday because it's a big gamble, and I love. From both of y'all know me as a basketball purist, but not a purist, the guy who loves the chaos of it. I love the chaos, and I love that in comic books too. Like, you're gonna go for a Hail Mary. I want to watch whether or not it crashes or burns. I'll be just excited either way. Like,
you are
just
the
excited
type
to see it
who would,
work,
like,
or be
bring
like,
out a bucket of popcorn to watch a train wreck. Like,
Yo, he's sitting
oh
up
yeah,
there,
100%.
Thriller MJ and them popcorn too. It's like,
Yep.
snap.
So I look forward to seeing it. And I will, we don't have too much longer to wait. My theater already, the theaters out in this area are already sold out for a movie that hasn't come out for 4 months. Like, and so I've been debating whether I'm just going to go back home to watch it. Not that I expect Arizona to be much better, but just like, hey, like, this movie, whether or not it's going to be great or not, it has the hype. It has the hype. So it's on Marvel to deliver. Letting go of a lot of their CGI guys or people did not put that in the right footing for me, for a movie that's going to depend a lot on that. And we've seen bits and pieces from the trailer where Doom stops Thor's hammer. Looks a little edited, kind of weird. If you look at his eyes in the trailers, there's different eyes on them. So they decided to
might
CGI
just be
one.
Spoilers. It might not be. It might not be.
Yeah, for like,
it might not be a CGI thing. It might be that RDJ is only Doom in one sense. And there's another Doom they introduce later who will take over as Doom.
Really? I don't even think.
Just saying, that's a possibility.
I didn't even think of that, fam.
That's a possibility.
Whoa,
it's a thought. You're right. I never considered that. Okay.
Hey.
All right. We'll see.
Okay. All right.
I love the hot takes out here. Come on now. Let's do it. Half an hour and we put no pulling, no punches.
Hey, now I'm a little bit more interested.
That could be fun for sure. All right, let's go to our splash page, our main topic here. And that we've kind of hinted at a little bit here. But the comic book industry and people of color. What is the deal? In the last month, we've heard from Marvel that previously announced projects like Blade, the second season of Wonder Man have hit the dust. They joined scrap projects like Iron Wars, which, do you remember that, y'all? Was going to have Don Cheadle, was going to kind of finish the Iron Man kind of spin-off with all the armor and stuff around. With the return of Justin Hammer, I guess we'll never see that. You have other main players. We talked about the Marvels a little bit. The rush job they did on Ironheart in terms of barely any advertising and then throwing it out there and being like, oh, why did people not watch this? And even the teases of that should spill into other future Marvel stuff that may or may not spill into that. So that's just the Marvel side. On the DC side, we're finally getting an ongoing comic book for a Black character in the mainline continuity. We're getting Vixen by Stephanie V. Williams, who is a tremendous writer. That's great. We're also getting a Static Shock book. Again, thank you. Want that. That's great news. Unfortunately, we don't know when those two books are coming out. That's just DC saying, okay, we're putting them out. We got you. We just don't know when. And it's already been 1,280 days at this point right now.
3.5 years, people.
There you go.
3.5 years.
Since they
without
had a character.
A single solo series in the main continuity.
Yep.
With someone with melanin in their skin.
Yep, and we have the numbers here.
3.5 years.
3.5 years. February 14th, 2023. I Am Batman number 18. That's the book. So this is the topic I want to get your thoughts on. We have a lot of thoughts. Josh is already ready to go. Adonnis, I'm sure you got thoughts. I have some. What are our thoughts on both just the big two? We could spell into other stuff we want to, but the big two specifically, and how they've been in terms of incorporating diversity in their comic book projects and movies. Is it a big deal? Because you have some detractors who say it's not that big a deal. And then basically, how do we see it changing? We're just going to open the floor, take this ball of yarn, and just let it go out. Josh, you got it.
Can I just add some more context on the Marvel
Please
side?
do.
Like you mentioned, Armor Wars canceled. You mentioned Wonder Man, which got Emmy nominations. Like he's nominated for an Emmy, and they announced that they were doing a season 2, and then like a week and a half later canceled it. On top of that, there's no Miss Marvel season 2. They canceled Okoye's series that they had previously announced. There's no mention of Ironheart after season 1. we were just discussing how Shang-Chi was super successful, but hasn't been mentioned in anything MCU in the last 5 years. On top of that, Monica Rambeau, who literally stopped an incursion in the Marvels, no mention of her for Avengers Doomsday, even though she, at the end, spoilers everybody, at the end of that movie, she winds up in the universe where we see Kelsey Grammer's Beast and presumably the Fox X-Men. They just released a list of movies that you should watch in preparation for Doomsday, and Marvels is not on that list, even though, again, incursions crossover with the Fox X-Men. And Sam Wilson as Captain America has like not been given any respect for being Captain America. He had the show with Bucky, which I enjoyed, but his movie was a Hulk movie. Both villains in his movie
a
were
17-year-old Hulk sequel.
Yeah, like And then we mentioned Blade. They announced in 2019 that 2-time Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali, one of the best fucking actors of his generation, was excited to play Blade. And again, we've discussed this. Blade is the easiest story in Marvel to tell. He's a badass vampire killer. Like, it's really not that hard. It's really not that hard. Did you watch the first 3 Blade movies? It's not like the plot was particularly great, but they were cool as hell. Like, it's not that hard to make. And now he's out. It's been 7 years. Nothing come out of it. And then another thing I thought about today, I know there was the Jonathan Majors stuff, and that kind of soured on Kang. You still could have recasted Kang with another black actor.
Yep, you did it with War Machine.
Have to punt on everything.
I wonder Howard
if you have just recasted with. There's so many great black actors.
But here's the thing. I wonder if because now that you're saying it like that, and I'm like thinking about those instances, the what's happening with Jonathan Majors, is their contract set up to like how quarterbacks or certain position players that are real famous, but then they do something dumb, but the contract makes them have to be around and assigned to that team for a certain amount of years, or else they're gonna have to pay him even more money type John. So yeah. I'm like thinking, is that why it's just not being talked about with him? Because they know what to, I mean, this latest movie, I haven't seen it, but I've read some stuff about it, and people are like sitting up there saying, like, really, dude? Come on, fam. Like, why would you do this type of film? Especially for these people. Like, come on, man. And it's like, yeah, there are a lot of instances where it's like it's very much so not like that. It's not like that at all. Y'all can like take away so much attention from that and put it in these stories. We can do some really, really awesome stuff. All you got to do is let us do our thing. Just let us do it. We already got it figured out. We good. Just trust. Just wait. Chill over there. We gonna bust out like 4 different shows, 3 different movies, and start some interesting wars that could add more money. They add more money, fam. And they're like, that sounds really awesome. Like, but we're gonna put a pause on that for right now.
Let's bring back our literal white savior, RDJ, like to play, a new big bad. It's like
now he's on the opposite side.
Sorry,
yeah, no, you don't get it though.
No. Seriously, this is important. All right.
Yes. And then I also have to mention on the non-cinematic side, on the comic side, we just talked about how like DC finally has 2 new ongoing series.
Oh yeah.
Marvel only has 3 series right now with
Oh,
a person
wow.
of color leading a solo series. Just 3. Storm, Black Panther, and Miles Morales, who also just happen to be the 3 like most popular black characters in all of Marvel.
And that number 1 just dropped this week.
Yeah.
The Miles one.
Yes. So it like obviously there seems to be a pattern, and I think it gets exacerbated by the announcement of Black Panther 3 and David Johnson, who I love. I am so excited for David Johnson in Black Panther 3. That guy is such an amazing actor. Like that's a future Oscar winner. And but it feels like Black Panther has become Marvel's like, but my best friend is black. I can't be fucking racist.
We got Ryan Coogler, you dig?
Guys, my best friend won an Oscar. Guys. And like again, I'm super excited for Ryan Coogler and everybody involved, and it's gonna be amazing. But it feels like the exception that's proving the rule.
Mm-hmm.
I want to kind of throw a little bit of my own point in there, because I agree with everything I've said up to this point. And I'm somebody, I know me and Adonnis have had this, known you, Josh, for a number of years, and I've Adonnis for a number of years. I know one of our earliest conversations, Adonnis, was before John Ridley took over Batman, before we got Jace Fox's Batman. We were talking about, could there be a black Batman? And I remember this, I'll never forget, me and Adonis, where he was dropping me off. We were hanging out with Frank Caliendo, and we were just in the car just talking. And I was like, I don't think we could. I was definitely a pessimist. And Adonis like, no, you probably, like, this could happen. I wonder if they'd cover his face. So like, we were kind of just talking it out, just kind of workshopping.
This was years before.
This was years before this happened. At least two, maybe more years before. Because when it happened, it was like, oh my God. And again, now it's been 5 years since then. Mind you, that even that Black Batman was coming out of a quote unquote future state event. It was a event that was a possible dark future for DC. Now, mind you, the stories were not well done more across the board. There were some interesting ones. They didn't last. And so DC just shelved that. So who knows? Jace Fox kind of disappeared. But I remember like going, wow, like just like Adonis and I talked about, like that would be so interesting. And that was the first time where I was well in my 20s at that point, going like, that's a guy that looks like me. That's Batman. And I actually liked the armored covered look, because he didn't have, like, he addressed his race and how he felt as Batman internally. But it's like, I'm not going to deal with that with the public right now. Plus, it helped that, the Magistrate, which were the villains of the storyline, had AI tech and all that.
Yeah.
But it was so cool. And I'm like, man, they took this idea, they caught fire with, and they dropped it and just let it go. And same thing with Blade, we see with Marvel, right? And you had an actor who's not only a talented actor, but a talented actor excited for the property, excited to give his 2 cents on it, and doesn't get the opportunity. And yet we have Thor: Love and Thunder get rolled out. We have objectively terrible movies, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, which was like fan service slop. Movies that leave, even Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the best part of that movie was Jonathan Majors, like, easily. And those movies went out without any, like, it was like they were trotted out, they were advertised to death. They all sucked. You could have had a Blade movie out at any point, rather than half of those movies, and none of them, if I remember correctly, are even on the list of movies to watch in anticipation for the next big movie coming out in a couple months. And so you look and say, okay, at a certain point, where are we going from ignorance to malice? And I'm not one to be super, okay, wait a second now. Stuff gets canceled all the time. I'm not gonna lie, the Okoye series, I wasn't necessarily excited for, because I'm like, okay, we're still building. That was just my own personal thought. We're still building off of the Black Panther. Let's get some more. I like it, but let's build a little bit more before we do that. That was my thought process. So when it happened, I was okay. I didn't think it was a fully fleshed out idea. It felt like the Marvel's version of what Disney's done with Star Wars, where it's like, now we're just gonna throw out some random series and then just see if it sticks. But when you look at that in combination with Armor Wars, in combination with Wonder Man, in combination with Ironheart, like now we're adding all this together in combination with Blade. And then it's like, oh, hold on. And it's a joke within a joke. Even in Wolverine and the X-Men, one of my favorite lines, you had the original Blade say that there's only ever been one Blade and there's only ever going to be one Blade.
I
And
mean, that was kind of a like,
yes,
unfortunately, and like obviously.
yes, and it felt so meta. Like most of Deadpool, it felt like they knew it was the joke within a joke. Because yes, he's saying that because he's a legendary Blade, but he's
Yep.
also saying that because we all know that Blade's not coming out, and that was the sad thing to
He's
see
the only
sometimes.
Blade.
There you go. And one of the first ones to really get the superhero movie thing started, coming
Yeah.
out the movie 25 years ago.
Yeah. I remember my parents renting that junk from Blockbuster. And I was just like, oh my God, what is this? And they're like, no, you can't watch it. And like, I remember I still sit up there and dance for 10 minutes straight on that friggin' song just to get some cardio, especially when I first became a father. I would sit up there with all of us and we're like, we're gonna do some cardio right now, we're just gonna dance. And it's because of that freaking movie I got introduced to that song, which changed some junk. So every time I do it, I say peace up. I thank you so much for introducing me to y'all and that story and making Marvel what it is. Thank you, Wesley Snipes. I really appreciate it. Like, because of that, let's do it again. Let's make some more. Like that friggin' what was it? Werewolf 316 or something like that. Whatever number it was, that the introduction to Blade, like because of that movie, I want that comic. I want to read that story. I want to read where he started and look and compare it. It's like, damn, this is where we started and this is where we at right now. Man, we come a long way, man. It's so cool how this just, I bet you at that time there was this like, yeah, let's just have a crazy idea. Let's just throw it out there. And now look at what all the stuff we get on a regular basis, what we looking at. Like, it's so freaking cool, man. And it's like, come on, pay your respects. You know what I'm saying? Like, pay your respects to the people that came and built the shit that we love now.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think Josh said so eloquently. Adonis, you've added to it so well. It's an unfortunate reality that we're here. I
Yeah.
guess the one thing I do want to ask is what do y'all think about those who don't think it's a big deal? Because you do see a lot of detractors on social media who are like, well, I mean, come on now. Or like I've heard a lot now where it's like, mind you, it hasn't even come out yet, but they're like, DC, this comic stuff takes time. DC's been working on it. I'm like, okay, but as Josh said at the very beginning, 3.5 years. Thank you. They just announced a series that isn't coming out yet. No release date for it. Have to assume sometime at the earliest in the winter, at the latest early next year. So does it really take that long in the comic book pipeline? I know you got to get a writer, got to get a creative team, got to get your media, your publishing. Does it take 3.5 years to do that? No. So even if at the earliest it's been 5 or 6 months they've been deciding to finally do this, that means it's been over 2 years since we had one, and nobody batted an eye. And so in my mind, it's important because for most characters, you don't have to make that argument, right? And you want to have good storytelling. You have great characters, develop them, give us stories. And yes, the sales will ultimately tell the story, but not every book's going to be absolute Batman. That's the first thing. And the second thing is Marvel, for the last like year and a half, only puts out 5-book miniseries. So you're not going to get consistent looks at it if you're giving it a short life. Give it a chance to breathe. That's my argument. But I want to get y'all last kind of thoughts on it because there are enough people, some who obviously are not arguing good faith, and for those, forget them, kick rocks, but some who genuinely don't see it as a big deal. And that's kind of where I want to get y'all's standpoint on that.
Well, I've seen the argument that, oh, well, they haven't really sold all that well before, or like look at the reception of Ironheart, and like they cut it off at the knee. They didn't give it any marketing. They didn't do anything to support it. And then when it rightfully falls flat because like no one even really knows that it's there, then they're like, oh, see, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. We tried it and it doesn't work. But like, just from a movie standpoint, for instance, Black Panther made $1.35 billion Wakanda Forever without Chadwick made $859 million. And those movies are the only movies that have like gotten Oscar nominated for non-visual effects for Marvel. All the other Marvel stuff has been like visual effects, like editing, like score, that sort of stuff.
Back
Which
end
is all
stuff.
all valuable stuff, but like Angela Bassett has the only MCU Oscar nomination yet for acting. She fucking crushed it in Wakanda Forever. And
Yeah.
she should have won that. Like I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I love Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Angela Bassett probably should have won that. And
100% in my opinion.
And then again, this isn't just like with black characters. Shang-Chi, again, very successful, really captured the zeitgeist. Would have been more successful if it hadn't come out in the like kind of recovering from COVID movie theater era. But then let's not do anything with him. Crazy Rich Asians made 8 times its budget. 8 times its budget. Everywhere All at Once won 6 Oscars, and it made more than 10 times its budget. You cannot fucking tell me that black movies and Asian movies aren't fucking profitable, that people don't want to watch them. It's fucking there. The proof is fucking there. And like
it's stupid proof, but it is proof.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
There you
It's
go.
like it's so annoying. And I think that's why I'm like I was saying with Doomsday, like I was just like, okay, I guess this is what they're gonna put out, because the real crazy shit that could like open up our minds and expose people to some really interesting stories that have been around for decades, or some that are really new, and they're like, damn, let's turn this into, let's keep this story going in the back here on the in this comic realm, but then let's also share it with people that don't read comics, so then they can get interested. Like, it's crazy how so many things are like that. Like, and I think that's why that is another reason why I have been like fading away from the more commercialized comics, comic universes, companies, because it's like, yo, y'all doing too much. Just give me cool shit, man. Like, why is this hard? That's why I like really do gravitate more towards manga and manhwa and webtoons and stuff like that. You know, it's because it's like, I want to find some cool shit over there, some good ass art and some cool ass stories. Could they be series? Not all of them, but some of them are like, damn, that could be a good series. But they're getting so much friggin' attention, they do become new series. They do all this stuff, and it's like, oh damn, and it's doing this, and they're putting in a lot of focus on that on both sides. And it's like, okay, so many other places in the world could sit up there and do that, yet we're still like not treating the people that can introduce some really cool shit. We're not treating them properly. We're not treating them right. We're not giving them the chance to show the rest of the world how cool this friggin' story is. Like, just let it happen. Stop fighting the shit. Like, it's okay. There's so much money that can be made for so many people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. Trust me. Yeah, they're gonna make some money that's close to what y'all making right now, but you're still gonna make a bunch of money.
It's gonna work out. It's gonna be all right. Exactly. Yeah. We have to hope. I mean, right now it's not looking great, obviously, in the movie front. We'll see, you know, we in the DC front, we haven't even gotten a Batman thing yet. So I know they're not gonna go to other property. We're getting a Jimmy Olsen series though. So
but
yeah.
They did just introduce Jon Stewart, one of the like
That
best black characters in all of comic books. They just introduced him in Lanterns, and Aaron Pierre is fantastic.
That
so
first
like,
episode
there's a
bomb.
lot of promise there, I think.
I'm gonna
That's true.
watch it after this, so just chill
I'm
out.
gonna chill out right now,
I
bro.
haven't
But
seen it. I haven't seen it yet either. I'm just
John-
saying Aaron Pierre is amazing.
Oh yeah,
And is just like a fantastic pick for Jon Stewart. So like
it's
I have
perfect.
faith that at least that character is going to present well, and they're going to want to support that.
I hope that's in a movie at some point. It won't be soon, obviously. That's what I
Yeah.
meant. But I do agree with you. That is a character that's, you're right, you need to account for.
Yeah.
100%.
very much so. And like I can apply that same mindset to what I thought was happening with Mr. Terrific. I was under the impression that was happening with
Yes.
Mr. Terrific. So I was just like, oh damn, man, I guess we ain't getting them. And all of a sudden we're like, oh, we're gonna focus on Jon Stewart for Green Lantern. And you're like, oh, okay, let's see how this goes. Like, is this testing ground for like, all right, well, we don't give you the light skinned boy to go try this first, and then we can get you to you, Mr. Dark. Okay, just stay over there. Don't do too much. Don't go too far now. No, all right, now, boy.
Mr.
Why
Wagner?
not both? Why not both? Like Edie Gathegi was like the best part of that Superman movie, and I really liked that Superman movie. And Mr. Terrific was fucking terrific.
Marvel
it feels like it's on a platter. It's on a platter. Just fucking do it, and you're
Marvel
gonna
already had that opportunity, and they said, "Nah, we good," and y'all get it. Don't drop the freaking ball, fam. Like, come on.
You said it. You said it. I honestly, again, I think this conversation, we'll try to clip this just to have in its entirety, but like, it speaks to a segment of comic book readers, comic movies watchers. It may not be a lot of people, obviously. It may not be all the people, excuse me, but I think it is a good group of people. We're not asking for much, you know? It's just having good storytelling across the board. And if we have to be able to pick out, thank you. And we didn't even bring up Echo, by the way, in Marvel. Echo is a great series.
Yes.
That,
you
know what I mean? Boom.
Great point.
I didn't watch it. I wanted
point.
to, but
yeah.
So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just one of those things where I'll give them credit for putting it out there. But if you put it out there and don't actually advertise it or back it up, it doesn't feel like you're supporting it. You know, it feels like you're just putting out like, here, damn, we did it, you know, and that's not what it should. I only remember Echo because one, we were, you know, it was part of a series that I was excited about, but it really tied into a group of comics of Daredevil comics back in the early 2000s that kept moving the storyline along. So very important character, not only, you know, of a different culture altogether, but also being deaf and having that speak to certain people, having a prosthetic, which my brother personally spoke to because he's in the same situation, and having to not only survive with that but try to thrive in an environment where they give you no quarter whether or not you have it. Like, that's the type of stuff we like to see. There are so many other characters that you can use, that Marvel, DC, that can reach into a tapestry of so many more people that can look at these stories and be like, oh, I see myself in some capacity. And by them not doing that and just keeping it narrow, you're going to get a good group of people, because most of us are comic fans above anything else. But at the same time, you are losing that creating aspect, that storytelling connection aspect that I think is very important. So,
dude,
that's my piece.
Corban, this reminds me of something you and I have talked about on the basketball side of things, in terms of like how teams approach like costs for fans to come in. Like, this really feels like a finite approach and an infinite approach. Like, the finite approach is, we already make a bunch of money by catering to white people. Like, we know we make a bunch of money that way. The thing is, we also know that you can make a bunch of money the other way too, and you can do both. You could do both. On top of it, you're going to have a larger fan base if you start incorporating other like markets. Like it's really not that, like, this is general business. Like, there's an untapped market. There's an untapped, like I mentioned earlier, Crazy Rich Asians made 8 times its budget. Black Panther like killed it. Like, these markets exist. We know they exist. Why aren't you at least throwing them a bone?
Like, it doesn't make any friggin' sense. Like, seriously though, like, there are movies that we sit up there and it's like, it's easy pickings, fool. And like, there's so many freaking movies from the 80s that were about this.
Mhm.
You're not wrong. That's the thing. It's at a certain point, it's like, okay, what are we doing? You know what I mean? At a certain point, what are we doing? And so that's our plead. Come on now. Want to run over just some other news things really quickly before we go. Lanterns, we just touched on it. I watched already, obviously, Adonnis and Josh will later, and they better tell me what they feel about it because I want to talk about it with somebody. It's great. That's my non-spoiler review of the first episode, but there was going to be a point, and this was a issue that people had when they saw the trailer. It's like, okay, it's Green Lantern. Visually, one of the most stunning characters around. We need to see the green. We need to see this cosmic thing. And mind you, the fact that this wrapped up filming in late of 2025 and we're just seeing it now leads me to believe if it was that long in post-production, they'll be in a lot other places than just Nebraska. That's just my thought, obviously, right? So sure, but we wanted to see some of that, right? And we didn't. And there was some complaints that it was more like, True Detective, but again, yet another superhero property that almost feels ashamed to be a superhero property. And it's kind of funny. Kyle Chandler was on Jimmy Kimmel Live recently and shared the thoughts on the fact that there wasn't going to be a suit. And I'm gonna read the quote here. It says, quote, "They weren't sure that there was going to be a suit, as I understand it. And then toward the end, they decided, let's have a suit. And then they had designed a suit. They came up with 3 different designs. Chris Mundy and James Howells chose the ones who they went with. From there, I went with the designer, Cynthia Summers, and I was the mannequin while they created and applied this whole thing in front of me. So I got to watch the artisans do what they do and listen to the vocabulary. Long story short, it's an incredible suit. They built something that was just incredible. It took a while to put on. It's in pieces. It took about 45 minutes to get on. It's almost like you'd see the battle scars on it. And so it was trying to be an older suit for a guy who's been a Green Lantern for a long time, that's been through some stuff. He said, of course, closed out by saying it has the same age-old problem that every superhero costume has, that there's no way to go to the bathroom without going through the full 45-minute process of taking everything off, which I thought was kind of crazy. But want to get your thoughts on, do y'all think it's a big deal? For me, I was gratified that there was one. And again, you see it. It's in the show. And I was like, thank you. I'm not asking for something crazy. It doesn't have to look full, I'm forgetting his name now. Ryan Reynolds, thank you. And it doesn't. It looks more grounded, but it feels like an actual yes.
That man was trying to show you what you could look like as a superhero, okay?
He showed a look. He showed a look, but Kyle Chandler showed one too. But I want to get some thoughts on that because how do y'all feel about the whole superhero free? Is that a big deal? Is that not a big deal for y'all? Because for me it is, but everyone feels differently.
Definitely. Like, have either of you watched either the DC Legends of Tomorrow show or Doom Patrol?
Yeah,
like Doom Patrol, yes.
Unashamedly themselves.
Yep. Doom Patrol,
unashamedly themselves. And like sometimes we get so caught up in like, yes, some of the greatest comic books of all time are dark, like Dark Knight Returns, The Watchmen, like some of the very best. Yeah, some of the very, very best ones are really dark. But also there's so many wonderful stories that are unashamedly comic books.
Yeah.
Like this is a made up world.
Yeah. like
crazy shit happens. Like,
and let's see how
there are turtles. There are turtles who know like karate and they eat pizza.
like listen to the name of that.
Yes. Like there's nothing wrong with embracing it a little. Like I understand there are some stories that are going to be on that darker like end of the spectrum, but there should equally be stories on the other end of the spectrum that leave you just being like, that was fun as hell.
Yeah.
But like maybe I didn't like feel some deep existential or whatever, but like I had a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like I definitely felt that with the expansion. And I was like sitting up there thinking, like, damn, if they can do it with this, like, why don't they do more of like what they did jeez, why is it Doom Patrol? Wow, why did that take me so long? I
It's
think
late. It's late.
it's because I was thinking of what pissed me off long ago in our days of talking with Frank. Swamp Thing. I was so ready and excited for friggin' Swamp Thing. And then they were like, never mind. And it's like, come on, man. I still ain't finished it because I was like, what's the fucking point? What is the point of me continuing this? I was locked in. And now I'm like, I'm not locked into anything DC has to put out because I'm like, prove it to me then. If you say all this junk, stop talking shit and show me shit. Like,
don't talk about it, be about it. I'm with you.
Exactly.
When it comes to the costume, and I agree when Josh brought up the CW stuff. I wasn't a fan of maybe a lot of the storytelling aspects of the shows in some points. That was unfortunately their biggest weakness, right? But they appealed directly to this is a comic book.
Yeah.
Not a well-written comic book, but this is a comic book.
Hey, we're getting it.
Exactly. However, they did with the budget they had, which obviously was a lot smaller than an HBO Max budget or a multi-million-dollar movie budget, right? But they did the best they could to reach that length, and I did appreciate that, right? The properties that are too cool for school. I'm sorry, comics are already cool. We don't need you to try to make them darker, edgier. They already have that aspect of that. We already enjoy that. So, like, even with the X-Men, I get it. Back in the 2000s, you had to go the black leather route because you weren't going to attract fans the way
that pissed me off so much.
Same. You know, they made Green Goblin look like a Power Ranger instead of the much more. They had a much better suit that they designed originally. That would have looked so much more accurate and so much more terrifying. And they said, no, let's go with this final boss, Rita Repulsa nonsense.
Also, we're gonna cover up like a great actor's face. We're gonna cover up the tool of a great actor.
Yep. And they got lucky. That Willem Dafoe is so good an actor that even the part where you see his mouth moving in between the mask added to the character.
Yep.
Like he made that work for him. If it was a less actor, who knows? So you're right. Yeah. We remember when Harry Osborn at the end of Spider-Man 2 goes and discovers the goblin stuff, and we see like a chrome goblin mask. We go, wow, he might do a twist on it. And instead he comes out looking like a skater in Spider-Man episode 3. like these looks of trying to be too cool.
Are we getting introduced to Hobgoblin?
Yeah, no, we got the furthest thing from it. We got random skater dude from Aspen. Like
we got a character in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4.
There you go. Exactly. Rambling about Peter and something. So like this is what I mean. The great movies, again, when you lean into Wolverine and Deadpool Wolverine, you see the comic accurate suits. You even saw that brief montage before with the John Byrne, and like you see that works. You saw the excitement when he finally put the cowl on, and we saw Hugh Jackman in the full. Give us more of that. So even with this, I like a grounded Green Lantern. I get for TV purposes, you can't have them in space all the time. That's fair. I'm not saying they have to be in their suit all the time because I know budgets are a thing. But the fact that they were going to almost have no suits at all is ridiculous to me. We're in the year 2026, and we've already proven with our money and our thoughts that we want to see superheroes wear superhero suits. That's my piece.
Yeah. Nah, fam. Like, real talk, yeah. like, hey, whoever corporation is out there scanning our shit and taking our data and using it against us to go make us spend more money, listen to what we saying.
There you go. You're gonna listen to something.
Sparkly draws on over his copy. It's okay. We get it, fam. Like we've been with that for a long time. Just let it happen. This motherfucker want to wear a cape. Let him wear a cape.
If you're gonna listen to something, listen to that. 100%. You said it. And while we're at it, it's been 30 years. Let's get Spawn back in here.
Yes.
It's been 30 years since they said something about Jamie damn Foxx. Like, come on.
Yeah,
exactly. Fox, Blade, friggin' Spawn. Like, come on. And Todd McFarlane, the thing that pisses me off is Todd McFarlane is treating this like it's low key. Has the same amount of energy and hype and all that shit as what's what's the digital money?
Bitcoin,
Like those, but that style of friggin'
crypto,
the
yeah.
tokens,
cryptocurrency.
crypto.
Like he's treating Spawn's movie like cryptocurrency. Oh, I'm telling you, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. You guys are not even ready. You're not even ready. And then it's like, all right, yeah, let's put in investments. Let's everybody sit up there and get hyped. Let's put in a whole lot. Let's talk about it. And then we still ain't got shit. like
Again,
Yeah.
it's a fucking layup. It's a fucking layup. like seriously, if you just remade the first Spawn movie that we got with today's like special effects, just that, even if you just did a shot by shot remake with today's special effects, like it's a layup, same as Blade, layup.
I low key want to see a freaking person that's working on the new Spawn to redo it, but with like Claude and some other AI, and say, take this movie and update all the CG stuff that's in there. And then all of a sudden, 2 days later, we get a freaking 2026 version of Spawn from 1999. Like, everybody be like, oh my God. It's so much better. How are they not doing this yet?
That's what I mean. I mean, yeah. Come on now, give the people what they want. Like, actually, give them what they want. And here we are. You hear the passion from
free.
Thank you. So let's go. This is something I'm actually pretty interested in. Let's go to our last news topic before we kind of say our final bits here. Zack Snyder said that the Dark Knight Returns is fully storyboarded and he wants to adapt the graphic novel as is, Watchmen. And so he was this happened last month. He was with Frank Miller at the Wilshire Ebel Theater in Los Angeles, and he said they asked if he would make the Dark Knight Returns, and he said the good news is he's already finished the comic book. That's done. So the good news, the hard work's over. Miller laughed, and Snyder was like, "Hey, the heavy lifting's done." And he said that I think the answer when they will let us. Apparently, the Dark Knight Returns already all boarded out with storyboards done by Jay Oliva, and Jay did the storyboarding for the animated adaptation of it. That was just perfect. For parts 1 and 2 that came out about 10 years ago. So I do believe that. Snyder said when he was asked what he actually wants to make, he said those who think that it should be compared to Batman vs Superman need to put that down because he wants to do the graphic novel as is, just like he did with Watchmen. And so those were his thoughts. And well, that too. I guess he was bringing up something that more, exactly. But he said that's all been done. The sequences are there. Oh yeah, no, I want to get your thoughts for sure. And he said on the Zack Snyder movie, like that's a big part of it, is having the sequences drawn out before the camera ever rolls. And he's not going to use AI in this apparently, but it's already been boarded. I guess we'll see. The animated Dark Knight Returns that Oliva directed is still the only direct adaptation of Frank Miller's book, and honestly, pretty good. It does. I mean, you've had elements when they say, "Oh, it's like Dark Knight Returns." It usually means a Batman over 35. Let's throw in some armor. It doesn't put the bigger beats, the whole Batman fascist talk, the whole Reagan, the whole Superman Agent of Destruction, the whole Joker Batman in the Tunnel of Love, like all that stuff. The movie is the only one that did that in that such a way, and that's animated, which is great. I'm an animated fan, but some aren't. So to do it physically would be great. And so the green light's what's interesting, but again, there's a lot going on right now. Zack Snyder has Frank Miller's support on it. Frank Miller was right next to him when he said when they let us, and then he went and co-posted the video, morphing his splash page with Ben Affleck, because apparently they want Ben Affleck back and they want Henry Cavill back. Like this is a thing that's already been rolled out for this, which is interesting. I don't know what I feel. The green light is what they're waiting on, but the fact that they're even making it public makes it interesting because the studio, Warner Brothers Paramount, are currently fighting, right? And the studios agreed not to close the Paramount deal until the trial verdict, which is potentially as late as June 2027, unless they settle before that. So nothing. And also, if you look at Zack Snyder's current slate, nothing's blocking a potential of that movie getting off the ground if it was greenlit. And that if Paramount does take over the whole Warner Brothers merger, The Dark Knight Returns will be exactly the kind of big event with the Zack Snyder fans and everything that Paramount would want to go. And then hours after it came out, of course, Snyder posted a video of himself and Affleck on the Batman vs Superman set with the caption, "We do this together." So right now it's a whole lot of nothing, but it's a little bit of something. I want to get your thoughts on
Mhm.
That shit pisses me off
it.
because it's like we've been talking about all damn day, fam. Like there's so many things that could be so good and so awesome that are they're literally ready to go. All you dumbasses all have to say is go. That's all you have to do. All you don't even have to say it. Like Josh said, they just have to stick up their motherfucking thumb. That's it. And we'll get awesomeness that will get so much attention, that will get so much discussion, that will get so much damn money. Just let it happen.
And
Like-
ready to make funny jokes about you later on. So
Like, just let it happen. Just let it damn happen. I truly don't understand why these corporations, which are continuously finding ridiculously unnecessary ways to get money from us. Like, we used to just turn on the TV and watch TV. Now we got to have a damn subscription to the internet that we're connected to. That's also connected to our cell phones. That also has taps into the AI thing that we use to run our frigging electricity throughout our entire house. And like, let me just watch a damn cool ass show. Let me just watch a cool ass movie. Just let it happen. Like, if I'm gonna give you that money, give me something, fam. Give me what I'm paying for, quite literally.
I think you said it eloquently. Josh, any final thoughts on that? Because I think that's pretty said well.
Also, I think there's been a lot of like pushback on James Gunn and DC right now, especially with Marvel like announcing like Ghost Rider, Black Panther 3, X-Men, etc. He can't. He probably legally can't, since they're in the process of a possible merger. He probably legally is not allowed to make The Brave and the Bold, to make a new Batman movie, to make a Wonder Woman movie, to make a big budget, like heavy hitter movie. He probably isn't allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And that's another aspect of this like corporate merger bullshit is, think of all the stories that probably like you said, Adonis, like these are already fucking done. They're ready to go.
The books have been done 40 years.
Can't spend money on you.
Yep.
I think the only thing I would push back on that for the whole Batman Brave and the Bold is that you're right. At this point, it probably is. But you already greenlit and I'm already doing a Superman 2. Batman should have been next. You already did Creatures Commandos.
Well,
you already your resources have gone to other things.
Superman already came out. That's the thing. Like Superman already came out, and there was enough of like.
And now they're doing Supergirl. Or Supergirl
they
came
could
out
do
too.
a Superman 2, but like I've seen a
Supergirl.
lot of
Where did that come off of?
push. Well,
like,
yeah,
I didn't mind the Supergirl movie. I didn't know what that to be.
Well, he wanted to just start off with specific stories, and then he was going to bring in the heavy hitters, and now everyone's saying like, "Oh, well, he never wants to use the heavy hitters." Like, I'm pretty sure he can't right now. Like, I'm pretty sure the axe is over his fucking neck right now, because if Paramount gets it, Gunn is gone, and they're probably going to give the keys to Snyder.
Oh. I mean,
yes, that is the correct reaction, Adonis. That is the correct reaction.
It's like, oh shit. Like, okay. I'm gonna say I don't really have any problem with Snyder. However, I was okay. I was cool with what Gunn was giving us, because I'm like, okay, this is getting treated a little bit more seriously. Now let's see what they have to say. What can they do? We know damn well what Marvel could do. Let's see what DC can finally do properly. What can they do? And if they do it with Snyder, like what we got with Snyder was cool at some point, but then it started to get like all over the place. It's like I understand what you're saying. However, this is so far away from this thing. It's not like. It's not doing it like how Marvel did it. Marvel did it to where it took different turns, but we still going in the same direction.
So yeah, I'm different because I am not a Gunn fan. As a director, I'm not. I think in individual projects, I am. In terms of him being in charge of a universe, I'm not. I think that people give the Guardians of the Galaxy a lot of credit, as they should, and I think that Gunn is the type who likes to take stories that are the, Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, like these are his babies, these are his big characters, and that's great. But they're not big characters. They're big characters off of the actual big characters. The reason that Marvel even gave Guardians of the Galaxy a chance to be as big as it was is you got Iron Man, Captain America, the Avengers. So go with the blueprint. And Gunn does not do that. And it's kind of infuriating because some of his stuff does hit very well. Look at Guardians of the Galaxy, look at Suicide Squad. Some of it doesn't do so well.
Yeah.
You could look at the Supergirl movie that just came out. That was adapted wrong, but still, you could look at
Still ain't watched it.
Creatures Commando. Well, I mean, there's some thoughts on that.
I was digging Creatures Commando.
It shouldn't have been in a position to be critiqued that much because it shouldn't have happened immediately. Like that was my thought.
Yeah,
like, yes, is it the best movie? No, it's not a horrible one either. A lot of sexism in the air as usual, but it's not a great movie. It's a good movie, and it's not a great movie, and I feel bad for the criticism there. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't be your second theatrical release when you have the freaking comic book trinity there. That's just my thought. So as far as Zack Snyder, I do like Snyder because at least he is going to do the stories that I want to see. Watchmen is something he did. He wanted to do Dark Knight Returns. Now, with that being said, the Snyder fans have made it a very toxic place. And Snyder has some directing styles. It's overly dark. It's overly over the top. He had full control over Batman vs Superman. That movie I was so excited for. It flopped pretty bad in terms of like it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
So, and that's on him. So either way, I'm kind of torn. But
I mean, low key, it was like that. That was what happened to me when I was watching Rebel Moon. Like there were things that I was kind of excited for. I'm not even kind of. I was excited for, because for me, I got introduced to him from Dawn of the Dead, and I was just like, "Yo, okay, I'm digging this." And everything, low key, everything that he put out after that, until he started to get really big, I was like, "Yeah, I'm fucking with this dude. Like, keep going, fam, keep going." And then with Rebel Moon, like I was like, man, maybe we getting some taste of like some older shit but his story. And it's like there were so many parts in there that were cool, but it's like you skipped it. You skipped parts to get it there. You skipped aspects to make it to where this could be something really cool. There were a lot of things, and it's like, but you did that in this movie too, this DC movie. It's like you're missing the point. And that's unfortunate because all the other shit was really cool. And if you had just added this point, this could have been really cool.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that going to be a consistent thing from you? We can't have, we cannot have that, sir. We cannot have that because you can make some cool shit if you use the cool shit.
You have the tools. The tools are literally right there. You can make a great meal.
Yeah.
Honestly,
hamburger helper.
Honestly, it should be a combination. That like you have the big budget like Trinity type movies, and you have smaller stories like Clayface and Creature Commandos and stuff. You can do both.
Yeah.
You can't. Everyone like, oh, but what about their poor budgets? Fuck them. They have so much fucking money. They could get this shit done if they really wanted to. Like,
I mean, Robert
Ali basically said, like, you know how much money Disney has? Like, if they wanted this made, it would have been made.
Like, real talk, yes. Robert Rodriguez has made more money from doing junk literally in his backyard. Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, he ain't got the budget that y'all got, and yet he's still out here making more.
He
made it in a cave
with scraps. No, exactly. No, I mean, and here's the thing: properties. I actually have found. Man, I wish I could give them a shout out. There's a group on YouTube that does audio dramas of classic Batman, Superman, Spider-Man film treatments that have gone both produced and unproduced. And it's like just something to listen to like while I'm working. And it's like they do a full voice cast. I really do enjoy it. Only thing I don't like is like the AI narrator, but he's only on the side. But it's really kind of cool to like they find voice actors to do, for example, the undone Nicolas Cage Superman with George Clooney Batman. They found a guy that sounds enough like Nicolas Cage
Holy
that I
shit.
found myself listening to is going, I'm so glad he's not Superman. I cannot take him seriously. Lowish, no. I can't even do the voice, but I hated it. I hated it. It was so
Put the
faithful.
bunny
It was so
down.
faithful to the material that I just listened. I was like, I cannot, Bruce, stop. I can't do the voice, but it was just driving me crazy. But the point being is, these are a group of people in their 20s, 30s, 40s doing voice stuff, putting it together, putting it on YouTube, and making it free for the masses. I was like, dude, how can I get it? He's like, dude, just download it. Like, keep it. Like, they're just making it for the love of the game. And they have zero budget. So you cannot tell me.
It can't be done.
Thank you.
Look
That's
at
what I
what's
got.
been successful at the box office recently. We're talking about movies that largely have been made by YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously Obsession, Backrooms, and a lot of other movies have really made so much more than their budget was. And the issue is, you're not giving these people who genuinely give a shit about these characters and these properties, you're not giving them the opportunity to be in the writing room, to be potential directors, to have any sort of say in this. And on top of it, you're clearly not doing that with enough people that aren't pale as fuck like me. Like, we have too many pale people in charge of everything, and like, we need more voices that want to tell these, that we know you don't want to tell these stories because you're not fucking telling these stories. Get the people that want to tell these stories, and hey, if you really want to be like a dick about it, give them a slightly smaller budget. They'll still put out some great shit because they care. They care.
Give them less money, but still give them the opportunity to show you that
Bam.
if you had given them more money, you would have gotten more money.
Yep.
like you gonna get money. I bet you, fam. Like, I promise you, you gonna get money. Let it happen. Like, seriously, like, I know y'all sitting up there listening to us and just letting the freaking AI servers go through our video content.
Flagged for, we're flagged for cursing.
It's some kind of the data that y'all collected. Collect that shit. You gonna get your money. Just let it happen.
Let it happen. Also, I want to say real quick, the name of the group or the YouTube channel is Newverse Media. So shout out to them because they do good work. Appreciate that. Think it's really, really cool. Their audio dramas have gotten me through many a work day. So boom. All right. Our last little bit of talk here, very briefly, is our comic shop talk, which is what we've been reading or watching in comics. Just a way to kind of close it out. We all have similar tastes, but we also have different tastes between the indie stuff and the anime influence. And I love back issues, and Lanterns just came out. So I kind of want to go around, start with Adonnis, Josh, and then we'll close with myself. You could pick one, either or both.
Oh, geez.
It doesn't even have to be comics. We can make it geek culture. I'm down with that.
I mean, like, I got a few comics that I'm interested in, but I just haven't
the time.
I mean, there's webtoons as I'm falling asleep and the phone smacks me in the face, so I know it's time to go to sleep. That's the amount of comics that I read nowadays. However, listening to audiobooks, Dungeon Crawler Carl. Like, I got into that realm, and now I'm like, damn it. Now I'm excited for what they're gonna do with the show. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and Seth MacFarlane's gonna be a part of that. So it's like, oh, this could actually get a good amount of budget and turn into, from what I know with this book and the story, we could be getting something that's actually pretty cool. And it's like, dang, you got that. Plus, there's a bunch of new manga that have anime that have gotten their bunch of manga that have gotten their anime adaptation launched, and these are some really cool stories. So it's like, that's mainly what I'm messing with now. But like I said, after this, I'm gonna go and give some time and concentration to Lanterns, because I dropped the ball, fam. I had more than enough opportunity to watch the jump beforehand, but now I'm over here watching a manga, an anime that I started to watch with Elena, and all of a sudden they started saying curse words. So I'm like, oh, whoa, I gotta turn this. I cannot watch this right now. So it's like, all right, let's see what real people are doing.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited to hear it. Josh, what you been up to, man?
So from I also have like no time as a
I
stay-at-home parent.
saw you in
to
person
a
yesterday.
4-year-old and a 1-year-old. So I don't really get a lot of time to myself to read or watch stuff. But lately I have been rewatching some. I mentioned earlier DC Legends of Tomorrow, particularly seasons 3 to 5. They just really embrace it. Like one of the season finales, there's this big, huge demon that's going to destroy the world, and they kind of do like a Ghostbusters thing where they combine like what they have with them and come up with like an avatar to fight the demon, and the avatar is like this blue Furby. And so it's just a giant fucking blue Furby like throwing down with this giant demonic guy, and it's fantastic. And there's another episode where like they have an entire fight sequence set to the thong song, because they're at like a museum, and there's like a diorama of Cisco and the thong song, and you press a button and then it's like actually Cisco performing the thong song while they're throwing down. Like,
oh my god,
that's so much fun. Like, is it necessarily like great storytelling that's really gonna grip me? Maybe not, but I love it. It's so delightful. And to be honest, like, it's good to be delighted.
Yes,
there's not a lot of delight right now in the world. And then reading wise, again, I haven't really had a whole lot of time to read. So what I've been doing recently is on Hoopla. They have a couple of like DC artists mega books. Like I'm currently going through the Lee Bermejo one, who for my opinion is the best Batman artist. Like I love his take on Batman and his take on the Joker and all that sort of stuff. I just like his style. And they have like Frank Quitely, who I'm sure you don't like a ton, is based on the like X-Men 2000s leather outfits and stuff. Hey. But I kind of like his artwork is like a pug to me, like ugly but cute.
Is cool.
Like it's I actually really respect that it's not like everybody's a fucking supermodel gymnast who has 0% body fat and like every single muscle is defined. Like I like that. I like that his Wolverine looks like he smells bad and stuff like that. Like so that's what I've been doing when I do get like slight moments. Is like looking at a couple of pages of artwork and then reading like interviews about it and stuff.
Yeah.
No. I think that's funny that you brought it up. I'm not a fan of Quietly's work, but
it's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste for sure.
But reading and seeing different comics, I mean, I've always appreciated this. I didn't appreciate as much as I do now, is how subjective art can be, in comic book art specifically, right? And so, yes, I may not be a fan of his work, but others love him. You know, I love a cleaner kind of style that others might be like, I need something more dynamic. You know what I mean? One thing I love, Alex Ross's paintings are amazing. Yes. Right? So descriptive. I do not think they capture action very well. That's just my own thought, you know? So it's so interesting how we can draw our own thoughts from our artists. And yeah, I guess that actually leads to mine. Because this artist I'm actually kind of growing to like, and that's Chris Samney. You can't see of my green screen here, but
he did Batman, Daredevil.
He did Daredevil, and he's doing Batman and Robin dynamic duels with Mark Waid. It's a very clean style, but what I love about it is you get the classic kind of look of an early career, you know, Batman and Robin, which is Dick Grayson, but you're also getting an author in Mark Waid who knows. He's the preeminent DC writer ever, right? He knows his characters. And I love that he doesn't gravitate to dark stories, but he doesn't shy away from them either. And so what that leads to is a good story that doesn't feel dark for darkness sake. he can balance the old chum of Batman in the 60s with like, oh, we're dealing with a multiple murder situation right now, and there's a cult of kids or whatever. And like he does that in a way of like someone who really gets the characters well. And so that's been a great exploration into Batman and Robin and how they work well together. Just gonna put my face. There you go. You can see it where, oops, just kidding. I almost had it.
It kind
There
of,
you go.
yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
Dan Mora?
Huh? No, that's what I'm saying. That's Chris Samney.
That's Chris Samney.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna flash it. See one more time. Boom. Oh, it's gone. Anyway, Chris Samney is the creator, and he does a good job there. I watched X-Men '97. Finished season 2. Yeah.
No spoilers. I haven't.
I only
seen it
watched
yet.
one episode.
I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to say one thing. Comic book movies and writing and TV shows are a lot like the comics. If the pacing is off, you can tell. I'll leave it there.
In the first season, they
Interesting.
kind of speed Ryan through some shit too.
So-
and I wouldn't be surprised if season 2 also maybe covers too much stuff in too short a time.
It kind of does. It speed runs the back half. It spends a lot of time building up, and you're like, good, great. Wait, how many episodes are in this season? Oh.
Oh, so
And
it's
then-
across the Spider-Verse,
Yes, there you go. Yep.
which we talked about, like on
Which we did a lot.
yeah,
Yes, a lot. Like
Yeah,
a show or
like-
two ago. We got to go
Yeah.
regular on this for sure. And then the last thing is Lanterns, which I'm not going to talk about too much. Obviously, we've already discussed it here or there. Lanterns is an amazing watch. Looking forward to getting your thoughts on it. Anyone who watches this on the YouTube, give your comments below. We'd love to hear them. I know I would. Spoilers are already out, gentlemen. So fight the good fight and watch it while you can. Oh wow! Yep, I see it from there. Saw the shield. It's Captain America. Can almost make that out. Who is that?
Oh, is that the new Jay Lee one?
Yeah, it's Monster
Yeah.
Racing League.
Good eye.
Yes,
Josh.
Monster Racing. Yep.
And then this is the other one from Dark Horse, Foundations.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's I think it's the only one. So I saw it and I picked it up. And it's a big comic. So like there is some cool shit out there that's like we were talking about. It's like, hey, let's see what they're talking about. There are cool things, and it's like, man, that's how it is in the comic shops on Wednesdays, fam.
Yes,
Every
yeah.
damn Wednesday. You got so much information to turn this into a fucking show that people that only watch shows would still think is cool. Like,
Yeah,
just
that's
let
what we trying to do something here like that. Okay.
God.
We trying to do something here. We getting it. We getting it. Well, listen, listen, y'all. We've had a fun almost 2 hours here together. I appreciate y'all as always. Real quick, end credits. Let's get where people can find y'all and what y'all do. If it's just on the show, just plug away. Or don't plug away, y'all. Okay,
Wait,
I'll
what?
start.
Huh?
I was saying I was giving a chance for y'all to say like final words and plug away. I called it the end
Oh.
credits, and I need to get my better segments together, so that's on me. I will say that. But end credits is like any final thoughts. If you have anything you want to plug or share about anything, boom. That's what that was.
If you're listening to this, you like comics, go find some new ones. Engage in
I
those
love
new
that.
stories. Just do it.
Yeah. And if your budget is really tight and you feel like you can't go to an actual comic book shop and, get something new, there's so many wonderful resources to read, even relatively recent books. Almost every library has some graphic novels and trade paperbacks.
yeah.
On top of that, if you have a library card, you usually can access Hoopla,
Yep.
HOOPLA, and on Hoopla you can find so many comic books
Yeah.
on there. And again, as a hurried stay-at-home parent who only has time to read when he's hiding in the bathroom, Hoopla is great for that because I don't have to try to lug a comic book or a big omnibus with me. I could just open up Hoopla and I can read a couple of pages of a good comic book.
Yeah,
So
man.
even if your budget is tight, explore what's out there because there's so much cool stuff. And even if you're somebody who likes a particular thing, like maybe you do like kind of edgy, dark stuff, just try something else. Just try something else. You never know until you actually try it. Like
Yeah.
one of my favorite like kind of arcs recently was Mark Russell did a Wonder Twins series. And like
Oh yeah.
yeah, and
Mhm.
it's like delightful. And like
So fun.
I'll have to send you a link to it or something.
It was
I literally have it like right over there.
I got really hyped with the Silverhawks and the Thundercats.
Yes.
So
Like, dude, check out the Wonder. Like, it's so well written. It's still
Okay.
like Super Friends type vibes,
yeah.
but like how they approach things is like really smart and everything. And
Okay.
it's really
I'm
cute
writing that
artwork and
junk
everything.
down.
Yes. I think it's on Hoopla too. So if you just look up like Wonder Twins on Hoopla or look up Mark Russell. He also did a bunch of Hanna-Barbera series. Like he did
Gundar.
who's the pink cat? I forget his name.
Ooh.
You know who I'm talking about.
Snagglepuss?
Yes,
The pink-
Snagglepuss. He did a like really acclaimed Snagglepuss.
Yes, he did.
run.
Exit Stage Left is one of
And
my
he did like a
favorite
Flintstones
stories.
run too.
Really?
It's so
yes,
deep and
yes.
dramatic. It's so good. Like
Yeah.
Exit Stage Left is what it's called. It's literally one of my favorites.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like
wow.
there's all sorts of interesting stuff out there. Take a chance, try something new. Hey, just throwing this out there. If you don't usually read like comic books that are led by people that don't look like you, maybe try it.
It's a thought.
Try
it's a
it.
thought, friend. We love that, man. We love that. I think there's no better words to end the show on. Listen, make sure Josh and Adonnis will be on the show a lot more, hopefully. So make sure to stay tuned for that.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna have multiple shows on this channel this week. So
Okay,
stay tuned.
cool,
I'm gonna get the bang for my buck on this. Anyway,
We're looking forward to it.
yeah.
Very much so.
Stay tuned for more, y'all. If you're on the YouTube channel, we appreciate y'all. If you're on the podcast feed, check out Corban Loves Comics, and this show is all about comics. For Josh, for Adonnis, for myself, we're Frosty. Y'all stay frosty, and as I like to say, as everyone said here, keep reading comics.